The bright light in the sky wasn't a star or a plane. It was a ship, an alien ship. It appeared suddenly one morning, hanging over New York like a silver coin in the blue sky. Major Jack Harper watched it from the roof of the military base. His heart beat fast, but his face stayed calm. 20 years in the Army had taught him to hide his feelings. "Major, they're asking to speak with us," said the young soldier next to him. Jack nodded. "Tell the general I'm on my way." In the meeting room below, screens showed the alien ship from different angles. General Peters stood in front of them, his face serious. "Major Harper, they call themselves the Galactic Council. They want to meet with Earth's leaders, and they asked for our best military mind and language expert to join them." Jack raised an eyebrow. "And you think that's me?" "For the military part, yes. For language, we have Dr. Olivia Bennett coming from Harvard." 3 hours later, Jack met Olivia at the landing site. She was shorter than he expected, with kind eyes and a serious face. She carried a small bag and a tablet full of translation programs she had created. "Dr. Bennett," Jack said, holding out his hand. "Major Harper," she replied with a small smile. "Ready to make history." Before he could answer, a beam of light shot down from the ship above them. Where it touched the ground, a door appeared. A doorway to the ship. A tall figure stepped out. It had blue skin that seemed to glow slightly and 4 arms. Its eyes were large and black. "I am Ambassador Zorn of the Galactic Council," it said in perfect English. "We welcome Earth to the galactic community." Olivia looked surprised. "You speak our language." "We have studied your world for some time," Zorn said. "We know much about you." Jack didn't like the sound of that, but he kept his thoughts to himself. "The Council invites you to our central station," Zorn continued. "There, we will discuss Earth joining our alliance of 27 species." "And what would that mean for Earth?" Jack asked. "Protection. Technology. Knowledge. The stars themselves." Zorn spread his 4 arms wide. "All we ask is friendship and cooperation." 1 week later, Jack and Olivia boarded the U.S. Defiant, Earth's newest spaceship. It would take them to the Council station near Proxima Centauri. The journey would have taken years with Earth technology, but the Council provided a special engine that made the trip in just 3 days. The Council station was enormous, like a metal planet with rings around it. Ships of all shapes and sizes flew around it. Jack had never felt so small. Inside, they met representatives from other worlds. Some looked almost human. Others were completely different. Clouds of gas, floating crystals, or things with too many eyes and legs. "The Council has ruled the galaxy peacefully for 50,000 years," Zorn told them as they walked through grand halls. "We have ended wars, cured diseases, and helped young species like yours reach their potential." For 7 days, they attended meetings, saw amazing technology, and learned about galactic politics. The Council members were friendly and helpful. They offered medicines that could cure cancer, engines that used almost no fuel, and farming methods that could end hunger. On the last day, Earth's representatives signed the treaty. Humans would join the Council as its 28th member. "A historic day," Zorn said as Jack and Olivia signed their names. "The beginning of a new era for humanity," Olivia said, smiling. Jack smiled too, but something felt wrong. The treaty was long and written in complex language. He wondered if they had missed something important. As they returned to Earth with the good news, Jack looked out at the stars. They seemed colder now somehow. He didn't know it yet, but he was right to worry. The Council had plans for Earth, plans they hadn't shared. And when humanity found out the truth, it would be too late. 6 months after Earth joined the Galactic Council, things began to change. The gifts of technology slowed down. Council ships came more often, but they no longer brought medicine or food. Instead, they took things away. Captain Samuel Rivera stood on the bridge of the U.S. Resilience, Earth's newest spaceship built with Council technology. He watched through the view screen as alien ships carried away containers filled with water, minerals, and plants from Earth. They took half the water from Lake Michigan last week, his first officer said quietly, and they're starting on the Amazon rainforest tomorrow. Sam gripped the edge of his captain's chair. I thought the treaty said they would only take small samples for study. That's what they told us. When people on Earth started to complain, the Council sent more ships. But these ships didn't land. They stayed in orbit, pointing strange weapons at the major cities. In Washington, D.C., Jack Harper walked quickly through the rain to meet Olivia Bennett. They hadn't seen each other since returning from the Council station 6 months ago. Jack had been busy with military duties, and Olivia had been working with Council language experts. They met in a small coffee shop. Olivia looked tired, with dark circles under her eyes. I found something, she said, her voice low. She passed him her tablet under the table. Jack looked at the screen. It showed the treaty they had signed, but with notes in the margins. Olivia had been translating the small print that no one had noticed before. They own us, Jack, she whispered. The treaty doesn't make us partners. It makes us property. Jack read through her notes, his face growing darker with each line. The Council had legal rights to all of Earth's resources. They could take what they wanted. Humans could not develop new technology without permission. Earth had no real vote in Council matters. There's more, Olivia said. I found records of other planets. 17 of them. The Council did the same thing to all of them. Some tried to fight back. What happened to those planets? Jack asked. Olivia looked away. They're gone. The Council destroyed them. That night, as Jack drove home, he saw a new light in the sky. A massive Council ship had moved into position above the city. Similar ships appeared over every major city on Earth. The next morning, Council representatives took over all global communications. Their message was simple. Earth belonged to the Council now. All countries must obey new rules. Anyone who resisted would be punished. In orbit, Captain Rivera received orders to stand down and prepare the U.S. resilience for Council inspection. He knew what that meant. They would take his ship and use it against Earth. Sir, his communications officer said, I'm getting messages from military bases worldwide. The Council is taking over everything. Sam made a decision. Send a message to all Earth ships. Anyone who wants to stay free, meet at these coordinates. He typed in a location behind the moon, where Council sensors couldn't reach. On Earth, protests began. People marched in the streets, demanding the Council leave. The response was swift and terrible. Council ships fired warning shots, destroying empty buildings. The message was clear: submit or be destroyed. In her apartment, Olivia downloaded everything she could find about the Council's weaknesses. She found mentions of secret places where older alien technology was hidden. Technology the Council feared. She sent the information to Jack before destroying her computer. Jack Harper stood at his window, watching Council ships fly over the city. His phone buzzed with a message from Samuel Rivera. Meeting point secure. Bring who you can. Resistance starts now. The betrayal was complete, but the Council had made a mistake. They thought humans would give up. They were wrong. 3 years passed. Earth changed. Council towers stood in every city. Alien ships flew across the skies. Humans worked in mines and farms, sending most of what they made to the Council. But not all humans obeyed. Deep under the red dust of Mars, Commander Lisa Rodriguez walked through a hidden base. 3 years ago, she had been a pilot. Now she led the largest human resistance group. Status report, she said, entering the command center carved from Martian rock. We lost contact with the Europa base yesterday, a young officer said. Council ships were spotted in the area. Lisa frowned. The base on Jupiter's moon was small but important. It had been studying Council communication systems. Any word from our friend on Earth? She asked. Yes, Mom. New message came an hour ago. On a screen, a man appeared. He wore the uniform of someone who worked with the council, but his eyes told a different story. This was Paul Davidson, an engineer who pretended to help the aliens while secretly gathering information for the resistance. "The council is getting nervous," Paul said in the recording. "They've noticed their ships going missing. They're sending more guards to the mining sites. But there's something else. They're afraid of something. Not just us. They keep checking the outer solar system, especially past Neptune. I'll try to find out why." The message ended. Lisa turned to her officers. "What's out there that has them worried?" "Commander, the U.S. Resilience is back," another officer called out. Lisa walked to the landing area where a large ship was settling down. It had once been Earth's pride, a ship built with council help. Now it was the Resistance's best weapon. Its hull was scorched from battle, but it had returned. Captain Samuel Rivera walked down the ramp, looking tired but pleased. "Mission accomplished," he said to Lisa. "We hit their fuel depot near Venus. They won't be refueling there anymore." "Good work, Sam. But we need to talk about Europa." In another part of the base, Jack Harper trained new recruits. They had been farmers and teachers once. Now they learned to fight. "The council species have advantages," he told them. "They're stronger, faster, and have better technology. But they have a weakness." He showed them videos of council soldiers. "Look how they fight. By the book. The same moves every time. They haven't had a real war in thousands of years. They'd forgotten how to adapt." Later, Jack met with Lisa and Sam in the command center. "We need to find out what they're hiding in the outer solar system," Lisa said, "and why they're nervous about it." "I might have an answer," said a voice from the doorway. Olivia Bennett walked in, followed by guards. She looked thin and tired. "I just escaped from Earth on the supply ship." They hadn't seen her in 2 years. After discovering the truth about the treaty, she had gone underground, moving from place to place on Earth. "The Council is afraid of another alien species," she said. "A very old one called the Precursors. They disappeared thousands of years ago, but they left their technology hidden throughout the galaxy." "What kind of technology?" Sam asked. "The kind that could defeat the Council," Olivia said. "I found references to a cache of precursor weapons in the Kuiper Belt, past Neptune. The Council has been searching for it, but they haven't found it yet." Lisa looked at her officers. "If this technology exists, we need to find it first." "There's something else," Olivia added. "In my research, I found that the Council species aren't fighters. Their bodies are soft, their instincts slow. They rely on technology and hired soldiers from other planets." Jack nodded slowly. "So if we could cut them off from their technology, we might have a chance," Lisa finished. On a screen above them, images showed Council ships moving toward Mars. Someone had betrayed them. Their hidden base wasn't hidden anymore. "Battle stations," Lisa ordered, "and prepare evacuation plan Delta. We're going to the Kuiper Belt." The race for the precursor technology had begun. The small human ship moved silently through the darkness beyond Neptune. It had once been a mining vessel. Now it was painted black to hide from Council scanners. Inside, Ryan Murphy checked his oxygen levels. 2 months ago, he had been part of the evacuation from Mars. When Commander Rodriguez called for volunteers for this mission, he had raised his hand first. "How much farther?" he asked over the radio. "According to the map Olivia made, we're close," Captain Rivera answered from the bridge. "The precursor cache should be hidden in an asteroid about 5 miles ahead." The ship's lights showed hundreds of ice rocks floating in the darkness. Finding one specific asteroid in this field seemed impossible. "The Council knows we're out here," Commander Rodriguez said, joining them on the bridge. "We intercepted their communications. They have 5 ships searching this area." Ryan looked at the scanner. "No sign of them yet." "Keep looking for the asteroid," Captain Rivera ordered. "The map shows it has a special mark on it, 3 lines forming a triangle." For 2 hours, they searched the asteroid field. Their oxygen was running low, and they would need to return to the main resistance fleet soon. "Wait," Ryan said suddenly. "I see something on that large rock to the right." The ship moved closer. Their lights showed a dark asteroid bigger than the others. On its surface, barely visible under the ice, were 3 lines carved into the rock. "That's it," Commander Rodriguez said. "Prepare to land." Ryan and 5 others put on spacesuits. They carried laser cutters and lights. The ship landed gently on the asteroid, and they climbed out into the darkness. "The entrance should be near the mark," Olivia's voice said through their radios from the ship. Ryan moved toward the 3 lines. The surface was hard ice, but when he touched the center of the triangle, his hand went through. "It's a hologram," he called to the others. "There's a tunnel here." They moved through the fake ice wall and found themselves in a long, smooth tunnel. It was warm inside, with soft blue lights coming on as they walked. "This technology is still working after thousands of years," one of the team whispered. At the end of the tunnel, they found a large round room. In the center stood a pedestal with a small metal cube on it. "Is that it?" Ryan asked, disappointed. "Just a box." Before anyone could answer, their radios crackled. "Council ships approaching," Captain Rivera's voice warned. 5 minutes until they reach us." Ryan grabbed the cube, and they ran back through the tunnel. When they reached the surface, they could see lights in the distance. Council ships were coming closer. "Everyone on board now," Commander Rodriguez ordered. As soon as they were all inside, the ship took off, flying low among the asteroids to hide from the Council scanners. In the ship's lab, Olivia examined the cube. "It's not opening," she said. "There must be a key or code." Ryan looked at it closely. "Those symbols on the side, they look like stars." Olivia's eyes widened. Not just any stars, constellations as seen from Earth. She arranged the symbols to match Earth's night sky. The cube hummed, and then opened, revealing a small crystal inside. "What is it?" Commander Rodriguez asked. Olivia carefully lifted the crystal. "According to the precursor records I studied, this is a knowledge crystal. It contains information, blueprints, technology, weapons." She placed it in a special reader they had prepared, the screen filled with strange symbols and diagrams. "I can translate some of this," Olivia said, her voice excited. "This first part shows how to make a shield that can block Council weapons." Captain Rivera smiled for the first time in months. "Can we build it?" Olivia nodded. "With Paul's help on Earth, yes. And there's more here, much more." On the bridge, an alarm sounded. A Council battle fleet had been detected leaving Earth's orbit, heading their way. "They know what we found," Commander Rodriguez said. "They're coming with everything they have." Ryan looked at the crystal glowing in the reader. "Let them come," he said. "For the first time, we can fight back." The Resistance had found its weapon. Now they needed to use it before the Council could stop them. 2 months after finding the precursor crystal, the Resistance was ready. They called their plan Operation Prometheus. In his small apartment on Earth, Paul Davidson finished building the last device. It looked simple, just a metal box with a blue light. But inside was precursor technology that could disable Council weapons. Paul hid the device in his work bag. As an engineer who fixed Council equipment, he could move around freely. Today he would plant this device near the main Council tower in New York. Other Resistance members would place similar devices in cities around the world. "All units report in," he whispered into his hidden communicator. One by one, voices responded from London, Tokyo, Cairo, and 30 other cities. Everyone was in position. "Remember, we move at exactly 3:00 p.m., Paul said. "Not a minute early or late." In space, hidden behind Earth's moon, Commander Lisa Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the U.S. Resilience. The ship looked different now. Its hull glowed slightly with a blue shield, precursor technology that could stop Council weapons. "Fleet status," she asked Captain Rivera, who stood beside her. "All 20 ships are ready," Sam answered. "Shields are working. Weapons are charged." Lisa nodded. It wasn't a big fleet, just Earth ships they had hidden or stolen. But with the new technology, they finally had a chance. "Any word from our allies?" she asked. Jack Harper looked up from his screen. "The Alari ships have confirmed. They'll attack the Council station at Proxima Centauri when we give the signal." The Alari were a surprise ally, one of the Council species who secretly opposed how Earth was being treated. Their help would be crucial. "And the other enslaved planets?" Lisa asked. 17 worlds are ready to rise up," Jack said. "They've been waiting for this chance for centuries." On her own screen, Olivia Bennett monitored Council communications. "They suspect something is happening, but they don't know what. Their ships are on normal patrol." Lisa checked the time. 1 hour until Operation Prometheus begins. Everyone to battle stations. On Earth, Paul walked calmly past Council guards. They barely looked at him, just another human worker. He reached the power station that controlled the orbital weapons platform above New York. "In position," he whispered. Around the world, other resistance members moved into place. Some carried devices like Paul's. Others prepared to take over key locations. At exactly 3:00 p.m. Earth time, Paul activated his device. The blue light turned green, sending an invisible signal upward. In orbit, the weapons platform suddenly went dark. All across Earth, the same thing happened. Council technology stopped working. Their guards found their weapons useless. Their shields failed. "Now," Commander Rodriguez ordered. The resistance fleet came out from behind the moon, their new shields glowing. They attacked the surprise Council ships, destroying them one by one. On his screen, Ryan Murphy watched Council ships trying to flee. "They're running away," he said, surprised. "They've never faced an enemy who could fight back," Jack explained. "They don't know what to do." Across the galaxy, other enslaved planets launched their own attacks. Species that had suffered for centuries under Council rule now rose up together. On the main Council world, alarms sounded. In their grand meeting hall, Council leaders gathered in panic. Their perfect system was falling apart. "This is impossible," the head counselor said. "Humans are primitive. How could they do this?" An Alari representative stepped forward. "You underestimated them, as you did with all the species you enslaved." "We must destroy Earth completely," another counselor demanded. "Show the others what happens to those who rebel." But it was too late. Reports came in of Council defeats across the galaxy. For the first time in 50,000 years, the Council faced something new: the possibility of losing. On Earth, humans took back their cities. Paul stood in the street, watching Council guards surrender. People cheered around him. His communicator beeped. It was Lisa's voice. "Phase 1 complete. Prepare for Phase 2. The real fight was just beginning. 1 month after Operation Prometheus began, the Council called an emergency meeting. For the first time in their history, representatives from Earth were invited not as servants, but as equals. The Council station orbiting Proxima Centauri looked different now. Half of it was damaged from battles. Council guards stood nervously as Major Jack Harper and Dr. Olivia Bennett arrived with their small team. "They're scared," Jack whispered to Olivia as they walked through the grand hall. "Look at them shaking." Around the huge circular table sat representatives from all 27 Council species. Some looked angry, others afraid. The head counselor, a tall being with gray skin, stood to speak. "Humans," he said, his voice cold. "You have caused great damage to the galactic order." Jack stepped forward. "We didn't start this fight. You did when you betrayed us and every other species you've enslaved. We brought order to chaos," another counselor shouted. "We gave you technology, civilization. You gave us chains," Olivia replied. She opened a small device that projected images above the table. "Here is the truth." The images showed Council ships stripping resources from planets. They showed weapons firing on civilians who protested. They showed entire worlds reduced to lifeless rocks. "For 50,000 years, you've lied," Olivia continued. You didn't create a peaceful galaxy. You created an empire built on the suffering of others. Many council members looked away from the images. Some seemed truly shocked, as if they hadn't known what their leaders had done. "We have formed the Alliance of Free Species," Jack announced. 17 worlds that you enslaved have already joined us. The Alari have left your council to join our alliance. The Alari representative, a blue-skinned being, nodded. "We tried to change the council from within for centuries. We failed. Now we choose a new path." The head counselor's face darkened with anger. "This is temporary. You may have found precursor technology, but we have weapons you cannot imagine. We will crush this rebellion." As if on cue, alarms sounded throughout the station. On the large screens around the hall, images appeared of massive council battleships moving into position. "You never intended to negotiate," Jack said, realizing the truth. "This meeting was just to keep us busy while you prepared to attack." The head counselor smiled for the first time. "Humans are predictable. Did you think we would surrender so easily?" But then something strange happened. The council battleships stopped moving. Their lights flickered and went out. "What's happening?" the counselor demanded. On the screen, a new fleet appeared, ships from many different worlds, all united under the Alliance flag. Through Jack's communicator came Commander Rodriguez's voice. "Sorry we're late to the party. We figured they might try something like this." The head counselor's confidence vanished. "This is impossible. How did you disable our ships?" Ryan Murphy appeared on the screen beside Commander Rodriguez. "Remember that precursor crystal? It didn't just have weapon designs. It had the override codes for all council technology." "You see," Olivia explained, "the precursors built the foundation of all the technology you use today. They left backdoor access to everything, in case you ever misused their gifts." Which you did. The council chamber erupted in chaos. Some representatives shouted for war, others for surrender. Jack raised his hand, and the room fell silent. "We don't want to destroy you. That would make us like you. Instead, we offer a choice." He projected a new image, a document titled the Galactic Federation Charter. "Join us as equals, not rulers," Jack said. "Help us build something better than the council ever was." "And if we refuse?" the head counselor asked. Jack didn't answer. He didn't need to. The disabled council ships on the screen told the story clearly enough. For the first time in 50,000 years, the council faced a reckoning. The species they had betrayed now held the power. And the galaxy would never be the same. 2 years after the confrontation at the council station, Earth looked different. The council towers were gone. In their place stood new buildings where humans and aliens worked together. In New York, a huge dome-shaped building rose into the sky. This was the new headquarters of the Galactic Federation. Representatives from 35 species worked here, making decisions that affected worlds across the galaxy. Admiral Samuel Rivera landed his ship at the main port. 2 years ago, he had been Captain Rivera, hiding behind Earth's moon with a small fleet. Now he commanded the Federation's peacekeeping force. As he walked through the streets, aliens and humans nodded respectfully. Some even stopped to thank him. Everyone knew his role in the revolution. At the Federation building, Sam found Jack Harper waiting. Jack now served as Earth's main representative to the Federation. "Admiral," Jack said with a smile, "how was your trip to the Alari homeworld?" "Successful," Sam replied. "They've finished rebuilding their main city. The damage from the Council's final attack is almost gone." They walked together into the grand meeting hall. Representatives from all member worlds sat in a circle. No one at the head, no one at the foot. All equals. "The Council species have been integrated into the Federation," Jack explained as they watched. Most of them were just following orders. They didn't know what their leaders were doing. "And those leaders?" Sam asked. "They're helping rebuild the worlds they damage," Jack said. It seemed a better punishment than execution. Across the city, in a tall tower of glass and steel, Dr. Olivia Bennett worked with scientists from 12 different worlds. They had founded the Galactic Knowledge Institute, dedicated to sharing technology and information equally among all species. Today, Olivia was showing Paul Davidson and Ryan Murphy her latest project. The precursors left more than weapons and override codes, she explained, pointing to a crystal similar to the one they had found in the Kuiper Belt. They left messages too. She activated the crystal. Above it appeared the image of a being, tall and slender, with 4 arms and eyes that glowed with inner light. "Greetings," the image said in a strange, musical voice. "If you are watching this, you have overcome the tyranny we failed to stop." Paul and Ryan watched in amazement as the precursor explained how his people had created the Council to bring peace to the galaxy. But the Council had betrayed that purpose, becoming conquerors instead of peacekeepers. "We hid our technology throughout the galaxy," the precursor continued. "We hoped that someday a species would arise with the courage to use it wisely." The message ended with coordinates to more precursor catches, not weapons this time, but medical technology, faster than light travel systems, and terraforming tools. "We're sending ships to each location," Olivia said. "The knowledge will be shared with all Federation worlds." That evening, Commander Lisa Rodriguez, now General Rodriguez, stood on the balcony of the Federation building with Jack, Sam, Olivia, Paul, and Ryan. Below them, humans and aliens celebrated the 2nd anniversary of the Federation's founding. "Did you ever think we'd end up here?" Lisa asked. "When we were hiding on Mars, fighting for survival." Jack shook his head. "I just wanted Earth to be free. I never imagined all this." "The Council's biggest mistake was underestimating humans," Olivia said. "They thought we would accept slavery like the other species they conquered." "They forgot something important," Ryan added. "Throughout our history, humans have always fought back against tyrants." In the distance, fireworks lit up the sky. Red, blue, green, and colors humans had no names for, created by alien technology. "The Council betrayed humanity," Sam said quietly. "Now they're part of something better than the Council ever was." As night fell, ships from dozens of worlds orbited Earth peacefully. The galaxy had changed forever because one species refused to accept betrayal. Humanity had not just survived. It had shown the galaxy a better way.